vibration when we pull up, it gets loud. No hesitation, we locked in, there's no way out. All dedication when it doesn't take vacation. No space for doubt, we about to put it down. Running, take a breath, keep running. Cause your time is coming, show it out. One head to the top, keep it going, we don't stop. One head, straight away, popping like an 808. One head, do it now, it's your moment, make it count. We got one head.
Last man in this game, tossing the bottom of the night inning. 물럭광 모든 chain, 원래 역전이 더 짜릿한 바비지. 눈을 쏠려 from the whole world, 공은 던져 잡고 내 숨 죽여 till the end. 너야 sub-zero to honey. Yeah, this is my home ground. Don't mammal in crowd. One and two, the top goes like whoosh. 떠나가기 질러 get loud. Like I said, nigga, tell my team. 믿고 달려, 난 still the scene. Make a new history. Top of the big scene. One hit to the top, keep it coming, we don't stop. One hit straight away, bumping like an 808. One hit, do it now, it's your moment, make it count. One hit, we got one hit.
Pega tu posición y representa tu país. Soy el jugador que se creció, pero no olvida su raíz. Estoy pensando en toda mi gente mientras recorro la base. Firme, pase lo que pase, vamos por encima, esa es la frase. Subo el volumen cuando llegue mi turno al bate, que esto es el clásico mundial. Ponte ready para el desempate, hay que jugar con el corazón. Darlo todo en el terreno, esa es mi pasión. Con orgullo trae tus colores, porque luego ya comenzó. We don't stop,
One head to the top, keep it going, we don't stop. One head straight away, pumping like an 808. One head, do it now, it's your moment, make it count. One head, we got one head.
in this funny state, looking at the time. You're still wide awake, and I'm still feeling. We've been right here before. The sky is getting bright. I know that it's different, 'cause you're always on my mind. Yeah, you're always on my mind. Yeah, you're always on my mind. And you're always on my mind. And we give it a minute, but we can't keep the time. I came to ask you something, with the highway speeding by. You know that I think it's funny, it's in the way you drive. I need you, I want you, 'cause you're always on my mind. And you're always on my mind. And you're always on my mind. And you're always on my mind. We're painting over me, cover up the white, just make it go.
From one Blue Jays way in Toronto, welcome to Rogers Center. We've got baseball on the show. It's the Athletics and the Toronto Blue Jays. All right, we'll be back to get this one started after this. And the starter for Toronto, Eric Lauer.
Anytime you have 5 pitches to work with on the mound, that repertoire can be a real weapon in terms of keeping hitters off balance, man. It's one of those things that I'm going to be looking for in this one. Does he have a feel for all of those pitches, or is he just able to get 1 or 2 over in the strike zone where he wants? Now, it's tough to do to be able to command all those pitches, but if he can, he is going to be very tough for the opponent today.
Not even close there. And that's ball 1.
Ball 2.
Lauer fires. And there's a
That's
ball.
ball 3.
Swings through that. That one misses.
That's ball 4.
So a leadoff walk.
Batting second, first baseman Nick Kurtz.
Here's Nick Kurtz. He's a young first baseman with a big frame and an even bigger upside.
Yeah, Boog, he's got the right tools for this league. Power, patience, and a polished approach for his age.
Ball 1.
Langoliers aboard here at first with nobody out.
Ball.
The 2-1. And that's too high. The 3-1. Swing and a high fly ball left field. Brings it in.
Batting third, right fielder.
And time now to check out the A's lineup. Singy, this righty-heavy lineup must be licking their chops with a lefty on the mound.
Well, to me, Boog, it shows the manager's trying to set these players up to have a big game. Facing an opposite-handed pitcher, you only get a fraction of a second longer to see the ball and decide to swing, but that can be the difference between a line drive and a swinging strike.
Foul off down the right side. Oh, 1 down.
Ball 2.
Just missed. Man at first, 1 away. Swing and a miss. Right through there, got him. 2 gone.
Frustrating end to the at-bat for the hitter, and I'm sure that's going to sit on him for a little while. You want to be ready to hit the fastball. Sometimes you can overthink things, and I think that was the case right there.
Next to hit, Tyler Soderstrom. That one pushed to the left and foul. Runner takes off. In the air to left center. Sanchez on his way over. Stretches out and hauls it in. Now the Blue Jays will get their chance. No score. Ready to go for the last half of the inning. And pitching in this one for the A's, JT Ginn. What do you have on him, Chris?
The primary pitch is an outstanding sinker. It's hard to pick up out of the hand, but in the last few feet really has arm side movement. Tough pitch for hitters to get the barrel of the bat on.
And the batter is George Springer.
The leadoff hitter this afternoon, designated hitter, number 4, George Springer.
This one belted deep left field. On its way, gone! That'll fire up the dugout. The Blue Jays on the board first. It's 1-0. 1 pitch, 1 swing, 1 home run.
Yeah, you could say that's efficiency right there. Didn't need much time in the box to make an impact. Well, he went up there 0-0 looking to do damage. I think he had his sights set on that pitch. He went and got it and circled the bases.
Now the number 2 hitter, Jesus Sanchez. Swing and a ball ripped down towards right center field. That'll touch down for a hit.
Couldn't have timed it up any better than that. Just a solid swing right there. Caught it out front and ripped it into the outfield for the base hit. Those always feel great.
Vladdy Jr. stepping to the dish now. Line drive, and this might be trouble. Rounds third, headed for the plate. He'll score easily, and they lead by 2.
Picks himself up an RBI. Absolutely punished that pitch. Wasn't fooled in the slightest. 109 off the bat. I think that means you put a pretty good swing on it.
Runner in scoring position, no outs. Addison Barger next up for the Blue Jays. And he lays one down the left side. Muncy to first, and he beats it. Everyone's safe.
He was racing down the line and probably didn't assume he was going to be safe until his foot hit the bag and looked up for the umpire. Nice bunt and great hustle to get himself a knock.
Now here is Kazuma Okamoto. And a sac bunt here. Muncy handles, throws to first. 1 pitch and 1 out. Let's take a look at the lineup for the Blue Jays. They're dealing with a sinker specialist on the mound, which can be a big-time challenge when he's right and working mostly from the knees down.
Well, the key is to lay off pitches down in the zone until you're forced to swing. Set your sights higher in the strike zone, looking for something elevated, because sinkers are less effective up in the zone. They tend to flatten out. So when you get a cookie, you don't want to miss it.
Puts a bunt down. Kurtz. Not in time to first, and a run comes across. Runners at the corners here, one away. Ernie Clement, the next to hit.
He's a bad ball hitter, so even if you get him to chase pitches outside the zone, he still might beat you. Not an easy out by any means.
2 on, 1 out. A bunt, and it's right in front of the plate. The flip, run scores, but a terrific play to get the out.
Well, the safety squeeze can be tough to defend, especially with a good runner at third. You can't risk trying to be overly aggressive and make a play at the plate and give up that easy out at first.
Here's Andres Jimenez. Drilled to right, way back there, and that is gone. A 2-run blast. It's their second home run of the inning, and they add to their lead. It's 6-0.
Just an excellent swing all the way around, and it had that sound coming off the bat that gets everyone's attention. Got a pitch to drive, short to the baseball, squared it up, and the backspin carried it out of here.
And here comes Mark Kotsay as he's ready to make a change and go to the bullpen. JT Ginn will depart. We'll be back in a minute with a new arm on the mound. So they bring on the veteran, Scott Barlow.
And with the big deficit on the scoreboard, he almost has to just put that out of his mind. Every outing matters for relievers and their numbers, but I think it's tough to get up for this type of appearance the same way you would for one in a close game.
Here's the Toronto catcher, Tyler Heineman. Lays down a bunt to the right side. Kurtz. And he beats him to first. He's safe. Here's George Springer back into the box for the second time this inning, and we remember what he did the first time around.
Yes, we do, and now he has the chance to do it again. Some of the biggest names in baseball history have pulled this off. He's going for 2 home runs in the same inning.
Gets the bunt down the right side. Flips it. He beats it out. And it's first and second on the infield single. Caught in a rundown now, and they put the tag on him. That's the 3rd out, inning over. But 2 round trippers in this inning. The long ball was working. It's now a 6-0 ball game. Back here at Rogers Center, digging in, Jacob Wilson. Lauer making his first start of the year. A former first-round pick back in 2016. The shortstop takes the ball.
I can't play around with him here. It's a 6-run lead at this point. Got to attack hitters even if you give up a solo shot.
Patrick Johnson calling the balls and strikes.
Pretty standard zone for Johnson. Sometimes he might get a little jumpy, a little excited and expand the zone, but usually you at least feel like the pitcher on the mound is earning it, and that's important because you got to make players earn it.
Next one misses. 3 balls, no strikes. That one misses. So a leadoff walk.
Batting sixth, third baseman, Max Muncy.
So digging in, Max Muncy. Misses again, 5 in a row. Six straight outside the strike zone. Pitch misses there, and now 3-0. And ball 4, 2 aboard. First and second and nobody out. Darrell Hernandez up next for the A's.
Ball.
Tough spot right here. A couple runners on. 2-ball count. You can't nibble, but you have to execute and finish your pitch. If you leave something out over the plate, it's going to bring in some runs.
That one missed. No question about this one. It's out of here. A 3-run homer, and they're chipping away. It's 6-3.
Oh, that one got in the jet stream on a line drive. We saw the numbers on the backs of the jerseys of the outfielders, which is usually bad news, and all of a sudden they're back in this ball game.
So up next, Austin Wins. Oh, and they're going to tag the pitcher with a pitch clock violation. That's an automatic ball. That misses. Ball 3. Nobody out with 3 runs in already this frame. Here at the top of the second. Hit in the air, center field. And there's one down.
Batting ninth, center fielder, Denzel Clark.
Here's the center fielder, Denzel Clark. We talk about guys with good speed, and definitely he has it. But pushing the offense aside for just a second, Chris, it's the defensive side that I think the speed factors in the most.
Well, he gets to balls that get by most people at that position. Just really impressive because there's certain times the ball comes off the bat, automatically that team that hit it thinks that they've got a base hit or they may have extra bases, and he just takes it away.
That's ball 4. Tried another fastball but missed the spot. So back to the top of the order, and now a chance for Shea Langoliers. Walk to open the ball game.
Ball 1.
The lefty to 1-0. Can't find it here. That's 6 straight balls. Clark, the base runner at first with 1 out. Runner on the go. Pitch is high. throw to second. Great jump, and that is a stolen base. It wasn't even close.
Well, he had that base stolen as soon as he broke for second. Such a huge lead. The pitcher's got to find a way to help out his catcher, especially if he doesn't have a great throwing arm. Step off the rubber, shrink that lead, somehow create a little bit more time where maybe you can prevent that stolen base.
And it's second. And ball 4, 2 aboard.
Up next for the A's, first baseman Nick
Nick
Kurtz.
Kurtz up next for the A's. Fly to left his first time. Two on, one out. Still in the second, already at 44 pitches, so some concern there. And another ball. Fouled off left side.
You know, he can move the ball around, add and subtract, get some weak contact at times. So you don't worry as much about him in this situation. Very capable of getting a ground ball and getting out of this little jam.
Fouls one off out of play, back to our left. And a payoff pitch. Stays alive. Here comes a 3-2. And that wasn't even close. Ball 4. So he's walked 3 in the inning. The bases are loaded. So digging in, Brent Rooker. He's 0 for 1.
Part of the order coming through now, and with 1 home run already in this inning, they're definitely looking to do some more damage.
Ball 1, no strikes.
Pressure's on right here. 2-0 count, bases loaded. You don't want to fall to a 3-ball count and then walk in a run. He's got to challenge the hitter right here.
That one missed.
Bases loaded here. If he walks them, probably not the worst thing, because the alternative could be a grand slam.
All loaded up. Dangerous hitter at the plate. Swing and a ball hammered. Left field. Carrying well. He's got it. And that should get the job done as he tags from third. He's in on the sac fly. And they cut the lead to 2.
Well, that could be a tough one with the bases loaded. You can try to do too much, but there he didn't. He stayed within himself. He got that run in with the sac fly. Would have been nice if the runners behind could have advanced, but they'll take what they got.
Soderstrom in the box now as he looks at ball 1. Second plate appearance of the day for him. 2 aboard, 2 outs. Not close with that one, and that's ball 2.
Not showing great command so far in this at bat. 2-0 count. He's got to execute here, or this could get ugly.
Jacob Wilson in the on-deck circle, hoping to get a chance to make a big impact here. 2 on, 2 outs. That's in there, and that's strike 1. That's a strike, and he inches closer to getting out of the jam. Fights it off, you'll see another. 3-2, payoff pitch. That one is absolutely belted. That's got a chance. Gives up the body and makes the catch.
Oh, man, amazing catch to end the inning. As a former outfielder, I'm feeling proud right now. Saw the wall, didn't get afraid, held on to the ball.
We head to the bottom of the second, and now for the Jays, Jesus Sanchez. Puts a bunt down, and a foul ball. Lays down a bunt to the right side. Kurtz, the underhand flip, and safe at first, the bunt single. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. now, a double and a run scored his first time up.
When he steps into the batter's box, the comfort level looks so high. It doesn't matter what kind of delivery that pitcher has, what kind of velocity, what kind of secondary stuff. He is so settled in there, he owns the home plate area.
This one's smoked on its way out of here. A two-run homer, and they add on.
Man, he looks like his dad out there hitting home runs. Well, he put a really nice swing on that one. Everything was on time, took a direct path to the ball, excellent extension, and just drove it out of here. Nothing better than when the ball jumps off your bat like that.
Now it's the right fielder, Addison Barger. Drops a bunt down the first base side. Kurtz takes it to the bag. One pitch and one out.
Up next for the Blue Jays, third baseman, Kazuma Okamoto.
So up next for Toronto, Kazuma Okamoto. Puts a bunt down. Kurtz. And he's safe at first. Great hustle to win the foot race there.
Oh, you could tell he was sniffing that hit all the way. Great hustle getting down the line.
Runner on at first with one gone. Dalton Varsho next up for the Blue Jays. Trying to move him over here. To first, and he beats it. Everyone's safe. Caught up now trying to get to third. And he can't get back as he's tagged out easily. They put the tag on him, and that's a double play to end the inning. The Jays get a pair on this homer. It's now an 8-4 score. Top half of the third inning, and the batter will be the shortstop, Jacob Wilson. Well, Chris, through the early stages, he hasn't been very efficient in terms of the pitch count. He's going to need to get some quick outs if he's going to get deeper into this game.
Ball one.
It is interesting, though, when you consider the way the game is run now. Doesn't even matter that much if your starter doesn't go that deep, because teams are really aggressively building their bullpens. And there's a ball. That one misses. 3 balls, no strikes. That one misses. So a leadoff walk.
Up next for the A's, third baseman, Max Muncy.
And now Max Muncy. He walked and came around to score his first time up. That one misses. That's 5 straight. And another ball. That one missed. Wilson gets his lead at first. Nobody out. Fastball for a strike. To third, and that chance handled. To second, that's one. A sensational double play.
They made that double play look so easy, but it was far from routine. That's the one thing about big leaguers. They make tough plays look simple.
Next up for the A's, Darryl Hernandez. That one fouled off.
Well, I think the key, I mean, if he can get through one more inning, anything after that, a hitter or two is bonus, but they should be lined up good enough to get to the finish line.
2 down, nobody on. That missed by a lot, and it's 2-1.
That's ball 3.
Right through there for a strike. That's a good at bat right there. He was down early in that plate appearance. Works the walk.
Up next for the A's, catcher Austin Wins.
So man aboard, and now here's the A's catcher, Austin Wins.
2 walks in the inning already, and he just doesn't seem comfortable out there. Like he can find the right mechanics and then repeat them.
The 1-0. Lauer fires. Check swing, no appeal. 3 balls and a strike. Ground ball, Vlad Jr. He takes it himself to the bag, and that'll do it. The A's strand 1. They're unable to make a dent in an 8-4 deficit. Bottom half of the 3rd, and they bring in a new pitcher, Luis Morales.
Well, they need someone to stop the bleeding and keep the score right where it is. Seems like a tough task today with the way this lineup is swinging it.
Here's the second baseman, Ernie Clement. One of my favorite Ernie Clement notes. He got his most recent glove, the one he played the 25 season with, off of eBay. A woman from Japan sent it to him. I asked, what'd you put in the search engine? He said, used Mizuno infielder's glove.
For the Blue Jays,
Andres Jimenez next up for the Blue Jays. He's already homered here in this one. Line drive, and that should be extra bases. Now he'll turn for second. In safely. It's a double and his second hit.
2 hits for him in this one, both for extra bases. Got to feel good about that. Nice line drive to the pull side right there, but he didn't spin off of it. That's the key. You still have to extend through the baseball in order to hit a line drive like that.
Tyler Heineman digs in now. And that bunts it towards third. Zips it across. 2 down.
up next for the Blue Jays, designated hitter, George Springer.
Back to the leadoff spot in the Blue Jays lineup. And it'll be George Springer to step to the plate. He's already homered in this game. Line drive, base hit. Coming around third is Jimenez. He will score. It's an RBI single, and the lead is up to 5. It's not often someone hits a baseball this hard. It's worthy of the StatCast treatment, Singy.
Well, I was anxious to see what that exit velo would be, and wow, 116 miles per hour. StatCast absolutely lives for these moments. You know, it's so cool to get that kind of data back almost instantly.
Gets the bunt down the right side. He takes it himself to the bag, and that'll do it. But the RBI single pushes across a run. It's now 9-4. Back here at Rogers Center, stepping in, Denzel Clark.
Denzel Clark.
Well, he hasn't quite settled in out there. 4 runs in 3 innings. He's going to have some quick 1, 2, 3 innings to pitch deep into this ball game.
Check swing went around. That's strike 1. Next pitch, not close, up high. Right through there for a strike. Hit hard on the ground to short. Over to first. That's the first out in the top of the 4th.
Up next for the A's, the designated hitter, Shea Langoliers.
Back to the top of the lineup. Here's a big power threat. Shea Langoliers. This one popped up. Foul ground, first base side. 2 up, 2 down.
Up next for the A's, first baseman Nick Kurtz.
2 outs, base is empty. Next up for the A's, Nick Kurtz. He has, as they like to say,
Let me guess, Boo. Light tower power?
That's right. Here comes the manager out of the Blue Jays dugout, and he will make a move to the pen. Eric Lauer out of the game. And as he heads for the dugout, we'll take a quick break. New arm on the mound when we get back.
Now pitching.
Braden Fisher on to pitch out of the pen here. He's into the game with the bases empty.
Last couple of pitches breaking balls away. I think he's going to have to come firm inside to be able to open up that location if he wants to go back there later in this count.
2 down, nobody on. And another ball. Brent Rooker in the on-deck circle for the A's. And a swing and a miss. There's that slider. Draws the walk there. So a man at first. Stepping in, the long ball threat, Brent Rooker. And that one fouled off. 0-1 now. In the dirt. The throw into second. He's in there. And now a man into scoring position.
You know, sometimes it takes a reliever a little time to get comfortable with the mound out there, especially when they come in trying to be nasty with every pitch they throw. Not exactly what they were looking for when they called him in, though. We'll see if he can settle down.
Man on second, 2 down. That one not close. And that's ball 3. Right through there for a strike.
He must have been looking for something else because he gave up on that pitch a little early. It was right down Main Street. Probably not going to see a better pitch to hit in this at bat.
3-2. And ball 4, 2 aboard.
Up next for the A's, left fielder Tyler Soderstrom.
First and second, 2 outs. Tyler Soderstrom up next for the A's. Base hit into the outfield. Headed for the plate. Here comes the throw. There's the tag. They get it. And that's the inning.
Bang, bang play at the plate right there. Outfielder needed no help. An absolutely perfect throw to get him right on the money. Excellent tag by the catcher. And the inning ends on an awesome play.
fifth now in Toronto. Their offense has produced a lot of hits so far, as we see from the spray chart.
Yeah, when a team has this many knocks, a lot of the time it gets clustered to one side or another. Not today. They're hitting it all over the field.
Lifted to left center, way back there, and that is gone. Another homer, his second home run of the game, and they boost their lead. Singy, the ball is jumping off his bat.
Yes, it is. Tons of loud contact. Man, it's been impressive. That's exactly the pitch he was looking for. Crushes it and hits it out of the ballpark.
Now it's the right fielder, Addison Barger. 1 for 2. And immediately pumps in a strike to the left-handed hitter. Whacked out to center field. That's well struck. Back there. Forget it. They do it again. Back-to-back homers. And they add to their lead. That's their 5th homer of the game.
Man, they're all getting into the action. It's starting to feel like a home run derby up here. Back-to-back jacks, and this club is fired up right now, Boog. I mean, this is the kind of thing where you really start to notice hitters in the lineup feeding off each other, and the collective confidence just continues to grow.
At the plate, Kazuma Okamoto. This one bashed to left center. On its way, and that one's out of here. They hit another, and they add on. That one just sounded different.
Man, might have been the loudest moment yet. Man, my ears are ringing. I can feel that swing from the booth. Back-to-back-to-back home runs, and these guys look so dominant right now. A pitcher might want to check and see if he's tipping his pitches or not, but I tell you what, if this was basketball, that opposing team would call a timeout to try to slow down this offense.
Manager out of the dugout now, and he will make a move to dip into the A's bullpen. Luis Morales gives way, and as he heads off, we'll step aside for a minute. Back with the new pitcher after this break. New pitcher on now, Jacob Lopez.
Well, I got to think he probably has a little extra in the tank facing his former team, and there's not a player in the league that doesn't get a little extra motivation when he plays against his old squad.
And now it's Dalton Varsho. Fastball for a strike. Plenty of offense in this one, Singy. I guess you'd say kind of what we expected, though.
Well, this was a game, looking at the pitching matchup, where you expected offense to score, and not as lopsided as this. But, yeah.
Oh, now this is blasted. Way back there. On its way. Gone. A solo shot. And they boost their lead. He absolutely crushed that wall.
No doubt about that one, Boog. We knew it wasn't coming back. Wow, 4 consecutive home runs. These guys are taking batting practice in the game. Just unbelievable at bats. And I tell you what, that hitting coach over there in the dugout, he's feeling pretty proud of himself right now.
So up next, Ernie Clement. Bunted back towards the mound. In plenty of time to first. 1 pitch and 1 out.
Up next for the Blue Jays,
Andres Jimenez getting ready to hit. Drops a bunt down the first base side. Kurtz. The flip. He's safe. On with a bunt single.
the Blue Jays.
Having himself a really nice game at the plate.
Tyler Heineman will hit next. Lays down a bunt to the right side. Kurtz takes it himself. Now 2 out.
Up next for the Blue Jays, designated hitter.
George Springer next up for the Blue Jays. 3 for 3, 2 singles and a homer. Puts a bunt down. Fires to first on the run. Now he launches a throw over his head. And in comes the runner from second to score. A big mistake there.
Well, you're already down in the game, and not just by a couple. And then that error allows a run to score. And this is where things can really start to fall apart. As a team, they need to pick themselves up, find a way to play better baseball the rest of the way.
Sanchez in the box now. Takes strike 1.
There it was. 0-0. Here it is. Hit it. He gets a take. Gets ahead in the count.
And it's second. And he lays one down the left side. Now the throw to first on the run. And he gets him. Nicely done. So 5 runs in the inning as they bat around. On to the top of the 5th we go. The Jays are out front 14-4. Well, this game isn't very close, Singy. Let's see if we got any messages from those tuning in today.
I know we got some good stuff in there.
Did you collect baseball cards?
You know, when I was a kid, I used to put them in my back tire of my bicycle so it would sound like a motorcycle. Probably ruined some good cards back then, but don't really have much of a collection. The other day I came across a binder that my wife had in one of the drawers, and my son's got some baseball cards. So you know, we'll be looking to see if there's any kind of retirement income in there.
So my dad told me that he had a bunch of Mickey Mantle rookie cards and a whole bunch of valuable cards, and his mom tossed them because, you know, what did she know? So I made my mom keep all my baseball cards, and I really don't have any that are valuable. And that story stunk by me. Anyway. So digging in, Max Muncy. And first offering is fouled off. Fisher, 25 years old, and he was drafted in the 4th round back in 2018. Not even close there. Ball 2. Now one missed. And that is out of play. Payoff pitch. And he walked him. Man at first with one gone. Darrell Hernandez, the next to hit.
Maybe losing command a little bit after the walk. Next pitch, not even close.
The 1-0. And another ball. That one misses. Ball 3. Fastball for a strike. Fastball for a strike. And the count is filled up. So a walk puts runners at first and second.
Up next for the A's, catcher Austin Wins.
One down. Austin Wins up next for the A's. Now it's belted deep to left. Way out of here. Home run. He'll circle the bases, and they throw 3 on the board. It's 14-7.
Just an excellent swing all the way around, and it had that sound coming off the bat that gets everyone's attention. Got a pitch to drive, short to the baseball, squared it up, and the backspin carried it out of here.
Next up for the A's, Denzel Clark.
This has been a rough inning, but sometimes you just got to work through it, save the rest of that bullpen, somehow stop the bleeding.
That's a ball.
That's a little bit low. Next offering is fouled back. Payoff pitch. Got him looking. 2 down. So the batting order turns over. Shea Langoliers digs in now. And that is downstairs. And that's ball 2. The bit behind with that swing. It's strike 1. Swing and a foul out of play. 2 down, nobody on. What a stop. And that's a nice play to end the inning.
Get about my way. I'm breaking the rules, changing the game. Yeah, I'm gonna elevate. Let's go, let's go.
Leading off for the game, first baseman,
Drilled out towards left center field. That's well struck back there. Won't get to this one in the alley. Around first and hustling for second. It's a double, his 4th hit of the game.
Oh, this has been a really nice game at the plate for him. He looks locked in. Double into the gap, and that was a really nice swing to beat the inside pitch. Just beat him with a spot. Kept his hands tight inside that baseball, and that just allowed him to drive it into the alley right there.
Now the Toronto 4-hole hitter, Addison Barger. Shortened the bunt and missed it. 0-1. Sack bunt towards third. Gets it to first. They get him, but it was pretty close.
Up next for the Blue Jays, third baseman, Kazuma Okamoto.
And next for Toronto, Kazuma Okamoto. Bunts it in the air. To first, and he beats it. Everyone's safe.
Up next for the Blue Jays, center fielder.
2 aboard with 1 out. Dalton Varsho next up for the Blue Jays. Bunting, and he pops it up. To first, and he beats it. Everyone's safe.
Up next.
So up next, Ernie Clement.
Second baseman, Ernie Clement.
A bunt, and it's right in front of the plate. The tag, and he's dead at home. Played the safety squeeze perfectly there.
For the Blue Jays, shortstop, Andres Jimenez.
There comes the skipper out of the dugout, and he's ready to make the move. Jacob Lopez done for the afternoon, and he leaves with the bases loaded, so he'll look for some help from his teammate coming in behind him.
Now pitching for the
So a new
Athletics,
pitcher on the
number
mound for the
38,
A's, Mark Leiter Jr.
Well, no margin for error in terms of throwing strikes with the bases loaded. Just has to execute one pitch at a time to try to get out of this.
And now, Andres Jimenez.
And it may be a long shot, but a triple here will give him the cycle. Tough situation right here. So important as a pitcher to get ahead in the count as he did right there.
Puts a bunt down. Kurtz flips it, and he beats him to first. He's safe. Two outs, bases full. Tyler Heineman next up for the Blue Jays. And the 0-1. Right through there for a strike.
And a bat like this is almost over as it begins. In this situation, you have no idea what the next pitch is going to be. You just got to hope that you can make contact.
And the 0-2. Line drive, base hit. One run is in. Runner holds up at third. Base is still loaded. Two away as one comes across. Oh, he overruns the base, and they tag him out. Inning over, and it could have been worse. 5 innings complete. The Blue Jays on top here, 16-7. Welcome back. A few highlights to help tell the story of the game.
Give it a minute, but we can't keep the time. I came to ask something with the highway.
So digging in,
Leading
Nick
off for the
Kurtz.
A's, first baseman Nick Kurtz.
And a 1-0.
Ball 2.
Way high. That one misses. So a leadoff walk.
Up next for the A's, right fielder Brent Rooker.
Next up for the A's, Brent Rooker. He's a guy who does it all. With the lack of contact in today's game, this guy hits for contact, so he delivers average, but there's on-base and slugging too.
Early in the count, you have to be real careful because of that power, but then if this hitter gets a strike or two on him, he's still very comfortable. And because he has the ability to get the barrel to the baseball, he's a threat deep into the count as well. He's clearly trying to work him away here. Both pitches off the plate. If you really want to put the ball in play, you're going to have to stay back and drive it to the opposite field.
That one at 95, missed up top. Ball 3. And there's the automatic.
Taking all the way on 3-0 right there. And as a hitter, you're saying, why couldn't I get that pitch earlier in the count when I'm looking to swing?
The 3-1. There's a strike. That's too high, and it's ball 4. Another walk.
Up next for the A's, left fielder, Tyler Soderstrom.
First and second and nobody out. Tyler Soderstrom up next for the A's. 1 for 3.
Ball 1.
The 1-0. And there's a ball. First and second, no outs. And we're in the top half of the 6th. Popped up. Infield fly called there.
Banner's out.
Up next for the A's, shortstop Jacob Wilson.
Jacob Wilson getting ready to hit. This guy makes great contact. One of the best in the game at putting bat on ball.
He's got such quick hands, and he's gaining pitch recognition. That keeps him square to the plate. There's a good chance that his bat stays in the zone a long time, and that produces solid contact consistently. Definitely found a perfect spot. Those can be hard sometimes. We talked about in left field. You're kind of anticipating cheating in for a ball. Hit something like that you can rob a little soft flare in front of you, but perfectly placed, so you reward the hitter with it.
Next to hit, Max Muncy. Two on, one out. That one is upstairs. Out towards right center field. Varsho on the move and makes the grab. Runner tags at second, and he's up to third safely with 2 gone.
Up next for the A's, second baseman Darryl Hernandez.
Next up for the A's, Darryl Hernandez. That one lifted to left. Sanchez in position. And that is that. 2 men left stranded, but they do push across 1. Top of the order due up in the home half of the 6th. Jays lead it 16-8. Back here at Rogers Center, let's take a look at how the ball's been flying today. Plenty of power on both sides in this one.
Yeah, games like this were so fun for me as a hitter, Boog. You grab your bat and head to the plate thinking, hey, could be my turn to go yard next.
Gets the bunt down the right side. Kurtz. He'll do it himself. 1 pitch and 1 out.
Up next for the Blue Jays, left fielder
Jesus Sanchez. Next up for the Blue Jays. Line drive, Adam in center field.
Man, that's one of those at-bats where you have to remind yourself it's about the process. He did everything right there. Nothing to show for it. But in your mind, you have to convince yourself that it was a very good at-bat.
Here's Vladimir Guerrero Jr. And the way he's going in this one, we've been waiting for his spot to come around again.
All right, listen, everyone. Stop what you're doing right now. This guy's got 2 home runs already. Now he's going for number 3.
Bunts it towards the mound. tosses to first, and Guerrero is set down. They don't come any quicker. 3 pitches for 3 outs, inning over. The Jays out front 16-8. We go to the top of the 7th, and now here's the A's catcher, Austin Wins. Popped up. Clement settles underneath it. Takes it in for the out.
Up next for the A's, center fielder
Denzel Plump. Up next for the A's. This is a guy who's in the lineup first and foremost because of what he contributes defensively, Chris. And when you talk about preventing runs from being scored, this guy is a big contributor.
I was always told it's hard to take you off the field when you play really good defense, especially at a premier position, and that's what he does.
Check swing, but he went too far. That's strike 2. That one missed. The 2-2 on the way. And that's down and away. This one popped up. Clement settles under this one. Out number 2.
Up next for the A's, the designated hitter, Shea Langoliers.
Back to the top of the order. Now here's the leadoff hitter for the A's, Shea Langoliers. Chop to third. Fires over to Guerrero, and that'll do it. The Blue Jays have the lead 16-8.
Now pitching for
We're back in a new pitcher here to start the bottom of the 7th. Justin Sterner
gets an opportunity to square off against his former team, so I wouldn't be surprised if he came out a little extra jacked up right here.
Addison Barger now at the plate.
Right fielder, Addison Barger.
Swing and a ball ripped right field, and that one back, and that one is gone. Another homer, his 2nd home run of the game, and they tack on to their lead. It's 17-8. That was blasted.
Absolutely, no doubt off the bat. Welcome to the game. First pitch out of the bullpen, a tough one, and you know he's just trying to get one in there for a strike. And on the other side, as a hitter, it's a great time to be aggressive and let it fly. It's not what they were looking for when they turned to him, but now he's got to find a way to reset.
Kazuma Okamoto will hit next. Drops a bunt down the first base side, and that goes foul. The 0-1. Swings and misses. And that's the first out. Nice recovery after giving up the homer.
Well, he just went right after him there. No messing around with the off-speed stuff. Here's my fastball. If you can hit it, go for it. 3 fastballs. See you later. Definitely build your confidence out on the mound.
Puts a bunt down. Kurtz. And he's safe at first. Great hustle to win the foot race there.
For the Blue Jays,
One down. Now it's the second baseman, Ernie Clement. And a sac bunt here. They put the tag on him, and he gets the job done.
Up next for the Blue Jays, shortstop Andres Jimenez.
So up next for Toronto, Andres Jimenez.
Oh, yeah, Boog. He's on the brink of one of your favorite milestones. He's completed 3 legs of the cycle.
I love me some cycle. And he lays one down the left side. And that's a bunt single. That was placed perfectly.
Up next for the Blue Jays,
I mean, come on. Have a game.
2 gone with runners at the corners. Tyler Heineman next up for the Blue Jays. Puts a bunt down. Kurtz. The underhand flip. And very nicely done for the out.
We know how to do it. Like that. We know how to do it. Like that. No, we don't. Turn the lights out.
Back now in Toronto. We're the top of the 8th. Nick Kurtz digs in now. And the first pitch misses for ball 1. Now one missed. And that's in for a strike. They're now 3-1.
In this situation, you expect the batters to be a little more patient, possibly take until they get a strike. With that, you don't want to miss your opportunity to get ahead early in the count. He didn't right there.
That's an automatic ball because the timer ran out.
And a free base with the wall. Not exactly a confidence-boosting play on the mound.
Now here is Brent Rooker. The 1-0. Kurtz on at first, nobody out. That missed by a lot, and it's 3-0. On the ground, right side. Goes to second for 1 and 2. What a play.
For me, that's one of the toughest double plays to turn on the infield. The first baseman has to get inside, create a throwing lane to hit that middle infielder to start the double play, and then from there completing it back to first. Really good job all the way around.
Next up for the A's, Tyler Soderstrom. Ground ball, Vlad Jr. He takes it himself to the bag, and that'll do it. The Jays with the lead, 17-8. Bottom of the 8th. Now here's the leadoff man for the Blue Jays, George Springer. And blasts one deep to left center. Clark reaching back towards the wall. And that one's gone. George Springer takes it deep. His second home run of the game. And they add to the lead. It's 18-8.
Boog, I I wasn't sure he hit that one as hard as he needed to get it out of here, but it had just enough behind it for the homer. What an attempt at the wall, though. He really gave a terrific effort to try and bring that one back.
Here comes the skipper, and we're going to see a pitching change in this spot. Justin Sterner, done for the day. Elvis Alvarado gets the ball now.
I think it's got to be a little tough coming in out of the pen when your guys are trailing so big on the scoreboard. Just doesn't have the same intensity to it, but he's got to find a way because these batters count the same for his stats, obviously, regardless of the score.
So up next, Jesus Sanchez. Lays down a bunt to the right side. Kurtz. And they put the tag on him for the out.
Up next for the Blue Jays, first baseman, Vladimir.
So up next for Toronto, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Singy, he's a guy that covers both sides of the plate about as well as anyone in the sport. How difficult is that to do?
Oh, just look at the back of my bubblegum card. You'll see how hard it is. These guys are great, man. They have the ability to look out there, but also to be able to turn on the inside pitch. Those that can really sharpen things on the outer half, those are the ones that become elite.
Up next for the Blue Jays.
2 down, base is empty. And now for the Jays, Addison Barger. Gets the bunt down the right side. Puts the tag on him, and that's the inning. Toronto picks up 1 on this homer. Last chance coming up for the A's. Back here at Rogers Center. All set to start the 9th in this one. Nobody on, but that changes now with the intentional walk.
Up next for the A's, third baseman, Max Muncy.
Max Muncy up next for the A's. Odd choice here. They intentionally walk him, and the runner now into scoring position. First and second, and nobody out. Next up for the A's, Darrell Hernandez. A very surprising intentional walk here from the dugout. That loads the bases. So digging in, Austin Wins. Oh, and this one gets away. But no advance from the runners. All loaded up here at the top of the 9th.
Look, in situations like these, the air can get really thin up there at the plate. Got to find a way to breathe and slow everything down.
Good hitters count the 2-0. And another ball. In the air, right field. Barger drifts towards it, and he makes the catch. Runner tags at second. All loaded up. Denzel Clark now at the plate. 0 for 3 in this one. Here comes the manager out of the Blue Jays dugout, and he will make a move to the pen. Braden Fisher will depart, and the line not closed on him yet as he's responsible for the runners on base. Back with a new pitcher after this.
Now pitching.
The new pitcher in the game, number 62.
And you know, bullpen guys can struggle sometimes when they're called upon with big leads because it just doesn't have the same intensity as a tight game. So we'll see how sharp he is. Your mental toughness matters in situations like this as well.
Lifted in the air, right center field. He's there. He's got it. Runners tagging from second and third. In comes the runner from third. So it's their last chance in this one. Next is the designated hitter, Shea Langoliers. He's a catcher by trade, but the DH here in this one. 2 on, 2 outs. Pitch gets away. And that cost him a run as he scores easily.
Well, you'll take a run however you can get it. And right there, the wild pitch is what made that one happen. No need to wait around as a runner on a ball like that.
Hit to the left side, and this is going to do it. Throw to first, ball game. And the Blue Jays slug their way to a win in this one.
Well, as much action as there was in this one, really impressive performance from the bats on the winning side. They gave up quite a few runs, but they still blew them out of the water. They have to be feeling pretty good about themselves offensively right now.